A boy gave his pocket money to help a pregnant woman. Later, a luxury car showed up. It was a chilly autumn afternoon in a quiet town where golden leaves danced in the wind. 12-year-old Jake Carter sat outside the small grocery store, jingling the few coins in his pocket. It wasn't much, just a couple of dollars he had saved from doing chores. He had been planning to buy a chocolate bar, a rare treat he allowed himself once in a while. As he stood up, ready to head inside, he noticed a woman sitting on the store's curb, her hands trembling as she cradled her swollen belly. Her face was pale, her eyes filled with silent exhaustion. She looked as if she had been walking for miles. Jake hesitated, glancing between the woman and the candy aisle inside. Then, without thinking twice, he walked over. "Are you okay, ma'am?" he asked, his voice soft but concerned. The woman looked up, startled. She smiled weakly but said nothing at first. Then, after a moment, she whispered, I'm fine. Just a little tired." But Jake wasn't convinced. He noticed her torn shoes, the way her fingers trembled. Something wasn't right. "Do you need food?" he asked, glancing at the store. The woman hesitated, pride warring with need. Finally, she gave a small nod. "Just something little. I'll be okay." Jake didn't hesitate. He ran inside, bought a sandwich and a bottle of water with his pocket money, and handed them to her. "Here," he said with a grin. "You need it more than I do." Tears welled up in the woman's eyes as she took the food. "Thank you. Thank you so much, sweetheart," she murmured. Jake just shrugged. "It's no big deal." He waved goodbye and hurried home, feeling lighter than he had in a long time. An unexpected arrival. The next morning, as Jake finished his cereal, he heard a commotion outside. Curious, he ran to the window, and his eyes widened. A sleek, black luxury car was parked in front of his house. It was the kind of car he had only seen in movies. The engine purred softly as the door swung open, and a sharply dressed man stepped out. Jake's parents exchanged confused glances as the man approached. "Good morning," he greeted warmly. "I'm looking for Jake Carter." Jake stepped forward hesitantly. "That's me." The man smiled. "My name is Daniel Whitmore. I believe you met my wife yesterday." Jake's heart skipped a beat. "Your wife?" "Yes," Daniel nodded. "She told me about what you did. How a young boy, without hesitation, gave away his only money to help a stranger. My wife was on her way to the hospital when you found her. We've been going through some hard times, and your kindness meant the world to her." Jake shifted, embarrassed. It wasn't a big deal, really. But Daniel's eyes were serious. Kindness is always a big deal. He reached into his pocket and pulled out an envelope. "We wanted to do something in return." Jake's mother took the envelope and gasped. Inside was a scholarship letter, a full ride to one of the best shoe